yes, has dazzled audiences in hit movies like Black Klansman and Tenet. He is now making his Broadway debut in August Wilson's The Piano Lesson. I'm excited. Please welcome John David Washington. John David. I gotta say, you know, you've lived in New York and you feel very confident here in New York. It's different from LA.
It is.
Than New York.
Yeah. And the way I travel, like I'm on the subway, I walk everywhere, you know. I do feel more confident. Even the way I order food is just, I do it with some bass in my voice.
You
when
do?
I'm out here. Yeah. Put more cheese on it, you know.
You do. Yeah. That's how I am. I'm like, this is my stop. You gotta stop. It's
I just be in the zone. I get inspired by the people I see every day on the street and in the train and, you know, just life. I just feel alive and very active when I'm in New York.
I love this because my son Jeffrey and I, we just moved to New York. So do you have any advice for us as new New Yorkers?
Yeah, just, you know, stay out of people's business. Like what might seem to be an argument is just a form of communication.
Okay.
In this city.
Okay, you just said communicate when you. I see that. I hear you. No, because I gotta say, where we live, so went by Jeffrey and I, and it was like, yeah, we're gonna do this. And Jeffrey's like, Mom, they just talking.
They just talking. That's what I'm saying. Argue, maybe we should break it up. No, communicate. That's probably.
I hear you. Now, speaking of city and love language, I heard that you are in love with Sex in the City.
Oh, no.
Okay, Sex in the City. So I'm like, John David. Carrie, Samantha, Charlotte, or Miranda?
Charlotte York.
Charlotte York!
I just love her character, hopeless romantic. She just believes in love and believes it's gonna work. So, you know, I feel her on that. I always root for her. She found her. She found her man.
She found her man.
Yeah.
They left for each other and then they came back together. It is hopeless romantic. I love it.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta say to you, I saw you in Piano Lesson and you were phenomenal in Piano Lesson. Congratulations. Because I would have thought that you've done Broadway before, but this is your Broadway debut in Piano Lesson.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so can you tell the folks who have not been to see it, tell us about Piano Lesson?
So Piano Lessons Piano Lesson is a play written by the great August Wilson.
Yes.
And it's brilliant. It's a masterpiece, and it's basically it's about a family, the Charles family, and you know, coming up in the rural South, Jim Crow South era, 1936, and an argument about a piano, a family heirloom. And on one side is Bernice, played by Danielle Brooks, who thinks to keep it in the family, and my character, Boy Willie, is wanting to sell it and get some land and ownership. So you know, it depends on. I think both have very strong points of view. So when you see the play, you can decide who you side with. You know, it's fun.
It's so funny because I have seen reviews of the Piano Lesson, and they have called you some of the reviews. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's literally, I didn't even know what this word meant. Revelatory, and a masterclass. And I have to agree with them. Like, with it being your first time being on stage, how did you feel when you just hit that stage the very first time? Because it's different to a movie.
Yes, it is. Huge difference. How did I feel? Word comes to mind is supported.
Yeah.
You know, by my cast members. You know.
Yeah.
No, really, and by our leader, LaTanya Jackson. You know, it's quite intimidating because, for one, Sam Jackson originated the role Boy Willie in 1987. He did it first. So all
you're playing opposite him in his
think about
role.
it. Like, I'm like, he's watching me. I'm like, oh, Unc, I know I'm doing my best. I know this is your role, sir. I'm so sorry in advance. But I never felt that. Never felt intimidated. I never felt bad energy from him. It's been great energy, and he's been very supportive. Everybody has been very supportive and holding me up. And it's been a life-changing experience. Discovering new things about the character, about my process into the work every time I'm up there. It's I really truly feeling like I'm learning and growing as an artist because of this play.
Okay, so I gotta ask you this. I've always wanted to know this. Now, I did my Broadway debut. I played the evil stepmother in Cinderella with Keke Palmer. She was Cinderella. And when I came out the first time, like sometimes I would go blank on my line. Do you ever, because you have long monologues, so when you get out there and you're looking at Samuel Jackson, who's in all of the scenes, do you ever just go blank?
I try not to. I mean, it's funny. I'll a lot of times I'll be like, blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus. You know, like sometimes if I feel like I go blank, just know he's in control. But no, I mean I'm so in it. There's a lot of preparation before I go on stage. So and he's talking all the time. So I try to find the music of it. You know, so in the lyricism of August Wilson's words that help me push through it.
Okay, and now you're working with Samuel Jackson, who's in the movie, and his wife, LaTanya Richardson, directs the play. I said the movie, the play. So you are working with a married couple. What's it like working with these two married people?
A learning experience. It's very passionate discussions about art, about point of view, character arts, but ultimately, LaTanya makes it known that this is her play.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm proud of it because this is her play.
Because her direction is exquisite.
Absolutely.
In the play. Now, Samuel Jackson, I've been around Samuel many times. I want to know in rehearsal, does he curse as much as we think he does?
Sorry, but yeah. He will not disappoint you. If you're looking for some curse words, you'll get them.
Look, I started cursing because of Samuel Jackson. I said,
inspired you?
Yeah, because it sounds so yummy coming out of his mouth. I was like, I
but
started
you can't curse him though. I feel like that's intimidating.
No,
I go the other way. I don't say any curse words because I know I can't. They don't hold like,
No, they don't. They do not. Now, you come from this Hollywood royalty because your parents are Paulette and Denzel Washington. Now, growing up with two people in the business, did they encourage you to forge your path in acting?
Not really. They supported me whatever I wanted to do, but it came as a surprise to them when I decided to pursue this. In fact, my father didn't even know I wanted to do it till I got the role of Ballers. He didn't know I was even doing it. And of course, my mom knew it. She was helping me read. She drove me to my first audition because I was in a boot. You know, I had a torn Achilles, and she's been giving me notes. She always giving me notes. Like she's seen the play 13 times. And she's been in LA like the last 13 days, still giving me notes from California. So she's a big fan.
It's so funny because Pauletta was there when we came to see the premiere of the piano lesson. And I have to say to you, as a mother, I'm a single mom, the way you honor your mother just like gives my heart joy. You always make sure that you honor your mom. Now, and I don't know, do y'all watch Reasonable Doubt? Okay, Reasonable Doubt on Hulu.
There you go.
Your mama is in Reasonable Doubt, and she be acting her butt off. So when you see her in Reasonable Doubt, like what do you feel when you see your mother?
Well, I remember she did a play at the Billie Holiday Theater in Brooklyn a couple years ago too, and just seeing her on stage, seeing her on television, seeing her like she was in a Spike Lee show as well. I'm so proud because this is who she is. Before she was a mother and a wife, she was on Broadway. So a lot of times I'm on stage thinking about, or right before I go on stage, I'm thinking about her journey and like how she's sort of returning to Broadway through me. And she was, she had a lot of jobs. She was working a lot before she had me. I joke with her sometimes, like, I could have waited. You could have kept going. But she always says, you stupid, boy. But so I really feel like I'm represented. So seeing her on stage and then on screen is just, it's encouraging. It's inspiring to know that that is my bloodline.
Oh, I love Pauletta so doggone much. Another man that I love, I remember he came to see me do stand-up comedy, and I could hear him from the audience. Spike Lee. Spike Lee directed you in Black Klansman, and I saw him on opening night at the piano lesson. How did you feel seeing Spike there?
Just like your favorite uncle coming to the cookout. It was funny. So when we were taking our bows at the end of the play, there's a lot of noise, right? And I could hear his voice very distinct. John David! And he just runs up to the front, holds his hand out, and I'm like, I guess I gotta. So I dapped him up as I'm on the move, almost busted my head on the side.
Oh my gosh!
But I did a spin move out of it, so it was all good. But he was very proud. I was so happy to see him. But it was just funny that of all the voices, I heard his, and he's like sprinting up to the front, hold his hand up like this. So I'm like, take my bows walking. I'm like, I'm moving. So he's been very supportive, and he put me on. Yeah,
I gotta tell you, John David, you represent us so well. We're so proud of you and everything that you do. We will always support you, no matter what you do. And I want to thank you for saying yes to coming here.
Oh, thank you. I told you before too. You on the top 5. I think
top 5.
The movie top 5. I think you stole the show. So you were incredible. Man. Really, you were.
Thank you. I would love to work with you one day. So I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna give you my headshot, my resume. I want y'all to go see John David on Broadway. Please go see the piano lesson at the Ethel Barrymore Theater, and we will be right back. John David Washington.